Here's something fun I wanted to try. Instead of reviewing something after watching it, I'll instead review why I want to watch something. Here are 5 reasons why I want to watch The Familiar of Zero. As of making this, I've seen 1 episode of Zero no Tsukiyama, and very much want to watch more. Some of these are more reasons why I want to see more of it, based on its strong initial impression, and some are based on why I watched even the first episode. Number 1. It actually has an ending. There's a lot of light novel and manga adaptations that had 1 or 2 seasons but never finished, and I have significantly less desire to watch something if it seems dead in the water before I even get to it. If something's still ongoing, that's different, but if it's old and also incomplete, I'm unlikely to ever see it. And this series is a weird case where the anime has more of an ending than the source material, because the author unfortunately died, which really sucks for people who were fans of the series as it was running. 2. The ending sounds cool. How do I know it ends in the first place? I read the plot synopsis of the anime on Wikipedia. Why did I do this? That's a later point. But I like what I know about the generalities of the ending, and it sounds like an actual satisfying ending. A lot of times I don't want to know the ending of something before I watch it, but this is one of the rare times where something later in the series is what actually gets me to watch it in the first place. 3. A good opening episode. This might seem obvious to make me want to watch more, but there's a couple specific things about the opening episode that I really liked. This is an isekai, but we haven't yet seen Earth at all, because the opening actually bothers to get the audience to care about Louise and the immediate setting before the male lead is even introduced, even though he's the point of view character. I mean, multiple shots in the first episode are literally from Saito's point of view. He is clearly the main character. This makes a world of difference to my expectations of the series, because even though its world building so far hasn't been amazing, it still made an effort to actually integrate the information it's given the viewer without just having a character explain everything about the world. I'm much more invested in the elements of the story this way, especially the stratified class divide of the world. I have no idea if the class divide will be important to the story at all beyond Louise initially thinking that Saito is a commoner from her own world, but it's nice to see as a possibility of the story even, that we would not have seen if it was only from Saito's point of view. 4. Communication problems. This is by far the weakest point because having 5 reasons sounds better than just 4. I like that Saito does not immediately understand the language, because this is so often ignored. I like there being a reason for people from different worlds being able to communicate, even if it's a silly reason. I would have liked it even more if Saito never got magical assistance and had to learn the language by exposure to the world, or at least could only be understood by Louise initially as part of their familiar bond until he actually learned the language for himself to communicate. But that probably would have prohibited a lot of early character interactions for a long time, so I'm not mad about this direction. This isn't a rival, and it's not trying to be. 5. The characters have clear, distinct, and fun personalities. I like fun characters, doesn't everyone? And there's no characters I have seen from the series that seem to be particularly obnoxious or bland. There's a lot of characters in a lot of works that I have forgotten exist, because they don't make any impression at all. These characters make an impression. I first saw the characters of this story years ago, probably when it was still airing, in a porn doujin. I don't even know who the author of the doujin was. I never tried to find their other work because the art wasn't amazing or anything. But maybe I should have, because they did a great job of capturing the characters having actual personalities, which gave me a sense that there was an actual story to their world with actual relationships the author was building from, not just an excuse plot for one-dimensional characters who look like the characters you know, but are just mainly unstoppably horny. So, yeah, that's certainly a weird introduction to the source material, but it stuck in my mind enough to bother to find out more about the series years later, which is when I read the Wikipedia plot synopsis, and now that I'm stuck at home because of the coronavirus outbreak, I'm finally bothering to watch it. There's one thing I don't like in the series that I've seen so far, and that's the basically omnipresent anime trope of really pervy males. Obviously not a huge turnoff, given the backstory to Reason 5, but for the teenage characters it's one thing. For older adults like the school's headmaster, it's another. Hormonal teens treated as comedy is different from someone in a position of abusable power treated as comedy. And the immediate trope response of the offending male being beaten up is not really enough. I hope people listening to this who have seen the series aren't thinking, man, he's going to end up hating this to themselves. Anyway, that's it for the video. If I enjoy making this beyond finishing writing the script and recording the audio, I might do some more videos like this for current seasonal shows that actually might be more relevant to judge off a single episode.